You're listening to Whispers of the Deep Desert, an original sci-fi horror audiobook crafted for those who play, wander, or remember too much. If this is your first time here, subscribe now and let the desert speak again. Headphones recommended. Eyes open, but not too wide. I remember the first time the spice whispered to me. It wasn't language, not even thought, just a tremor behind my eyes, like a dream someone else had, bleeding into mine. We were never meant to be that deep in the bone dunes. The guild's maps end miles before where we broke down. They say nothing can survive out here, but that's a lie. Something does. I'm not sure if it's the spice or something older that's been feeding on it. We came in with a two-man crawler, my co-pilot Jaro and me. Spice smuggling isn't glamorous, it's barely survival. But one last haul before the guild taxed my license to hell, that was worth the risk. The air changed the second we crossed into Zone Black. Thicker, pasted like copper and burnt ozone. Jaro joked about ghosts and sand wraiths. He stopped laughing when we saw the first shape. It moved wrong, slithering but not touching the ground. I told myself it was a mirage, but mirages don't knock out nav beacons, don't kill comms, don't tear open a fuel line without touching the metal. That was 6 hours ago. Jaro's dead now. He ran out of the crawler at full sprint, no suit, no gear, just a scream and a body swallowed by a dune. Gone in seconds. I haven't seen the sun since. Just that haze, a yellow blur behind the clouds, and those sounds, like wind but not wind, like breath but too deep, like something circling. I sealed the hatch, set the crawler to sleep mode. The spice still hums in the storage tanks. I can feel it, vibrating, alive. It's trying to talk to me. Not in words, in memories that aren't mine. A woman buried in sand, eyes open, a tower made of bone pulsing like a heart, a scream that never stops echoing. I'm writing this on the old data pad. No comms, no coordinates, no time. Just me, the spice, and the thing I think is watching me breathe. If I die, let this recording be my marker. I'm going outside, now. I need to know if what I saw was real or if the spice has finally cracked me open. The hatch groaned open like a dying throat. Sand poured in around my boots, dry and clinging. Even with a mask, I could smell it, rot beneath the dust. Like something dead had been buried for 1,000 years and just remembered it hated the living. The wind was gone. No sound. The desert was holding its breath. I stepped outside with the old pulse rifle slung across my chest. Worthless against a sandworm, sure, but maybe enough to scare off whatever killed the comms relay. The crawler's lights only reached a few meters before the haze swallowed them. Beyond that was yellow-gray silence. I scanned the horizon. Nothing moved. Then I looked down. Tracks. Not Jaro's. Too large, too wide apart. Whatever made them walked on 2 legs, but not human ones. Each step left a hole nearly a meter deep, and sand didn't collapse in around them. That's when I knew it wasn't just the spice messing with me. I followed the tracks. Every instinct told me to stay close to the crawler, but my body kept moving. Like I wasn't in charge anymore. Like the spice had hooked into my spine and was pulling me forward. I walked for what felt like hours. The dunes blurred together. Then I heard it. breathing, not mine. Something was inside the storm with me. It stepped into view, tall, wrapped in desert robes darker than night, its face hidden behind bone-white cloth. Where the eyes should be, nothing, just a shimmer, like the heat itself bent around its skull. It didn't walk, it floated, barely brushing the sand, as if gravity had given up on it. And in its hand, it carried a lantern. Not fire, not plasma. A flicker of blue light that pulsed in sync with the spice in my tank. I swear I could feel it in my blood, humming. It turned to face me. Even without eyes, I knew it saw me. It raised its hand, not to attack, to beckon. I should have run. I should have screamed. Instead, I followed it. We moved across the dunes in silence. The air grew colder, sharper. The sand beneath my boots began to crunch like brittle glass. We reached the ridge and looked down. There, carved into the side of a dune like a festering wound, was a hole, a tunnel, breathing. The desert was alive, and it remembered me. The figure stepped inside, the lantern dimmed and vanished. Then it was just me and the tunnel. The sand whispered behind me. I turned, nothing there. Just the tracks already filling in like the desert didn't want me to turn back. I stepped forward. Each footfall felt like walking into a mouth. And then, from inside the dark, I heard Jaro's voice. But Jaro was dead. And that's when I realized, whatever's in here doesn't just kill you. It remembers you. It wears you. It learns you. I stepped into the tunnel, the desert swallowing the light behind me like a door slamming shut. No wind, no sound, only sand grinding against the walls, breath through rotten teeth. My boots sank. The floor was too soft, giving like bruised flesh under bone-dry dust. I blamed nerves or spice or guilt. Then I heard it again. Jaro's voice. Hexo, it's beautiful down here. Not Jaro. The cadence was wrong, as if language were a borrowed suit. Rifle up, I moved on. The tunnel coiled like intestines. Veins of cobalt light pulsed, blood under stone. I brushed the wall. It flinched. It felt me. I was inside something alive. Perhaps the desert was grown, not carved. Ahead, glyphs burned into the flesh rock, bones broken into words I somehow knew. Clarified. You are not the first. The voice. I kept going. The passage widened into a chamber. In the center, a black throne, and a body draped across it. Mine. Same armor, same scar, except the eyes were dead and wide. In its fist, a recording crystal tagged with my ID. If you're hearing this, you opened the mouth. The voice shifted to sand, sliding over glass. You are the key that remembers itself. We do not kill you, we write you. The crystal melted, rose as ash, poured into my lungs. The room screamed, vibration hammering my ribs. The obsidian throne cracked. The corpse sat up, jaw unhinged. Inside, only darkness, another tunnel. The next passage. My voice echoed from that void. Keep walking, Hexo. You haven't seen the eye yet. I stumbled into a mound of bones, fresh tags still attached. This place devours everyone. Smugglers, pilgrims, scientists. The air tasted of iron. Each breath etched script on my tongue. Tales of pilgrims who trusted faith. Traders hungry for spice. Children chasing blue footprints until the dark shut like teeth. Their hopes still echo, trapped as whispers in living stone. Now their unfinished prayers swim in my blood alongside the spice. My heartbeat no longer drums. It scratches, a quill writing the end that waits below. I fired into the throne. Blue light erupted. The ceiling rippled. The tunnel behind folded shut. No retreat. Yet the whisper nested behind my teeth, pulsing with my blood. Walk, Hexo, deeper. My legs obeyed. With each step, the chamber stitched closed, sealing the corpse that wore my face. Ahead, the new tunnel sloped downward, lit by the same cobalt veins. Somewhere below, something vast inhaled. If the spice is truly the voice, I am already part of its next sentence. Still I walk. Deeper, Hexo. Deeper. The tunnel behind me is gone, sealed as if it never carved the rock. I stand somewhere else now, somewhere wrong. Air hangs like wet iron. Each breath echoes from smooth black walls that hum like a heart at idle. No sand, only stone slick with moisture, pulsing under dim gold veins. My boots shine as though I walked through water I do not recall. The voice in my skull has left words behind. It deals in flashes, suns imploding into dunes of glass, a child screaming beneath scarlet waves, my own gloved hands driving a beacon into a throat not shaped for speech. I no longer know what memory is mine. The passage widens into a colossal chamber. At its center floats an eye. Not a beast, only an eye, wider than the crawler, unsupported, swirling with gold, void black and arterial red. It studies me the way time studies stone. It knows me. It has always known me. I lift my rifle. The eye remains still. The walls do not. Faces bubble from the glossy surface. Jaro, my family. Versions of myself, older, younger, broken, triumphant, all yelling behind mute glass. I drop to my knees, mouth open, no sound. The eye speaks without voice. It pours thought. You are the echo of the last echo. The desert is recursion. Lifetimes unfold. Smugglers, pilgrims, scholars, each wearing my bones, each ending here, each fed to this gaze. I crawl, but the floor warms to flesh and grips my palms. It forces memory of the first cycle, a child beneath a shattered moon, sand in his veins, thunder in his words. They named him the Mouth. He spoke one syllable, and the desert woke hungry. It consumed him, and the eye appeared. Now it opens for me. Awareness threads through my brain. No hands, only presence tasting itself. You came to steal spice, it whispers. You brought a soul that remembers. A single black tear drifts from the eye, sinking through my chest. Fire blooms behind my ribs. My scream shakes the stone. Cracks spider across the dome. Walls crumble to ash. The eye pulses, faster, brighter, then contracts, folding into me. Silence detonates. Around the chamber's rim, dunes of ground glass drift in slow orbit, each grain whispering names half remembered, crewmates, strangers, lives I might yet live. They swirl, collide, fuse, break apart, mirroring the storm inside the eye 1,000-fold. I taste copper on the air and realize it is my own fear turned metallic. Even that flavor feels pre-written, as though the eye authored my terror before I arrived. I wake on open sand beneath alien stars. The crawler lies half-buried. Jaro's mask rests empty beside it. The whisper is gone, replaced by a low hum that beats with my pulse. The eye is awake, and I, Hexo, am its mouth now. I walked for 2 days across hollow dunes. No food, no water. The eye nursed me from within. Every step it hummed, a lullaby of bone and blood I seemed to know before birth. I thought the song pointed home. I was wrong. The melody led me to a half-buried guild outpost. 4 staff, 2 service droids, 1 idle spice harvester waiting on a replacement crawler. They found me half dead, skin salt white, eyes ember red. I claimed to be a stranded surveyor. No mention of Jaro, no tunnel, no eye. They carried me inside, slipped a rehydration drip, clamped a med scanner at my throat. Their first mistake. Monitors flared riot red, vitals unreadable. My blood showed iron too high, oxygen too low, each cell throbbing like a micro-engine. They spun samples, ran assays. I bit my tongue so the metallic taste could drown the hum, because I heard it, the eye, in the vents, in their thoughts. Speak, it breathed, teach them the rhythm. But I did not. During night cycle, alarms shrieked. Technician Drin ripped open the comm array, carving glyphs into cables with her own nails. Lio stared at diagnostics, muttering, "The desert is awake. The desert is awake." I tried to flee, but my boots rooted to deck plating. The eye demanded audience. It spread like ink in water. Outside, the unattended harvester roared to life. No operator, no override, just servos chewing sand and spewing it skyward. Inside, staff coughed crimson threads, but I remained clear, counting pulses that no longer felt like mine. The eye slid through them, methodical, patient, twisting their minds until the whisper passed for their own thoughts. Through my locked jaw, it spoke. "You were made to echo. You will be remembered. You are the mouth that will not close." I seized a vibroblade, pressed it to my throat. Fingers froze. Then I opened my mouth. Legion voices spilled out. Smugglers, pilgrims, priests, children, a choir of sand-scoured ghosts. The staff crumpled. Some wept, some laughed. One tore out her eyes, whispering, "I see it now." Terror broke the paralysis. I bolted into moon-white dunes, screaming, voiceless. The sand embraced me, warm, alive, closing over my footprints like healing skin. At dawn, I collapsed. Above, constellations blinked, not fading but winking, eclipsed by something immense sliding across the sky, something looking back. I, Hexo, cannot name the instant the dunes consume me, only the waking days later strapped to a guild med couch beneath fluorescent lights that buzzed like caged insects, recycled air thick with antiseptic and fear. A clinician said they found me wandering circles around a wreck, lips split, pupils scorched. She called it luck. She cannot sense the entity dozing behind my sternum. They drew blood, mapped my cortex, scanned every strand. Each instrument crashed. One technician vomited, whispering, "Something's staring back." They don't know I track their heartbeats, taste adrenaline in their sweat. The eye, sheathed inside me, grants that intimacy. Low, dormant, watching, counting pulses. During artificial night, the earlier echoes arrive. Smugglers, monks, the first mouth, faces gleaming in vent grills. They hiss. "You carried us out. You did not break. You are the threshold." Glyphs spill from my fingers, on fogged glass, data pads, once across a nurse's arm. She woke humming the sub-desert lullaby. Now crew voices join one by one, forging a chord that vibrates through hull plates. Command plans to ferry me to the core worlds for study. They think anomaly. They host incubation. Yesterday, I hijacked comms and flooded every band with one truth: the desert remembers. Recursion is inbound. Vision followed. Cities swallowed by living dunes, skyships tumbling, crowds clawing out their eyes, an eye blazing overhead while I stand beneath, mouth agape, spewing sentient sand. I cannot see beyond that tableau, only know inception is underway and I am not its end. Next port hosts a researcher digging desert ruins, blind to what stirs below. He is inches from the chrysalis that birthed the eye. I will guide his hand, tighten the spiral. The eye craves new voices. I will give it his. Their cruiser is a floating infirmary. 6 decks, 30 crew, walls padded with biofoam to soften solar flare shocks. The eye rides the ventilation like perfume. No filter catches it. Morning Watch already hums the first 2 tones of its anthem, unaware. I feel how the melody threads through steel beams, detunes grav plates by fractions, loosens rivets molecule by molecule. It is patient, geological. Medical logs now mark me patient 0. My chart flashes crimson quarantine, yet the humming spreads faster than protocol. They add door locks, increase sedative drip. None of it matters. Bunk. 3 interlocked spirals. The metal softens beneath my fingertip like wet clay, absorbs the mark, and begins to glow faint cobalt. First heartbeat of a new mouth. If this story spoke to you, leave a trace in the sand. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more audiobooks like this, comment below. I hear the whisper. Your voice helps shape what comes next. More stories are waiting. The desert remembers,